Do you set goals?
100%.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Yeah. Get out the way, get the fuck up out my way, yeah. Yeah. You either with me or against me, ho.
Hey everyone, this is the December Menlo Club package preview, and this month's theme is changing your destiny. And throughout this month, we're meeting with a variety of different people to hear about the steps they took to change their destiny, change their life, and make their life better. All right, everyone, members, this month we have a very special guest. We have Michael Mente, a good friend of mine and co-founder of REVOLVE, a billion-dollar, which is awesome to say, billion-dollar fashion empire, global fashion empire, selling women and men's and accessories all over the world. You guys have your own brands, you're selling other brands. It's quite a remarkable story because we actually went to USC together.
Same year.
Same year, and we didn't know each other.
Nope.
So first of all, USC's...
I lived on Menlo too.
Yeah, you lived, oh my God, where'd you live?
I lived on Menlo.
Townhouses,
the two-story ones over there.
Yeah. I mean, that's even crazier that you lived on Menlo. And if those who don't know, Menlo Club and House is named after the street we started 5-4 on. They're literally leaders in fashion, global fashion, in my opinion. And I could count the number of people I look up to in this industry in one hand, and Michael is one of them.
Thank you.
Our month is all about changing your destiny, and really, how did you get on the path to this amazing story that we have today, which is REVOLVE? What was like the moment that got you on the path of like this journey, REVOLVE?
I think the interesting thing for me was that REVOLVE specifically was a little bit prior to that, and it was, in college, and I think it was a time where Asian parents, typical stuff where it's like, you should probably be an engineer, probably be a programmer, you could probably go that route or whatever. Or then going to SC, you should probably be a banker or a consultant or whatever. But this was, early 2000, this is first .com boom. Yep. And that was when it was just like knew that like, that's the direction, entrepreneurial, that aspect was really just calling. And then it was really just knowing that your limits were your own limits. It wouldn't be time limits of a traditional career path or whatever. And that was really clear to me that not exactly sure what it would mean, didn't know exactly where it would go, industries, ideas, whatever. But I knew that the broad principles of entrepreneurialism were important to me. And that was ultimately the challenge and the lifestyle, I guess that was, was clear to me.
Was fashion something you were interested in, or you were just opportunistic in that?
It was more opportunistic, but I was probably intrinsically a little bit more into fashion than the average dude. Yeah. Of course, I'm sure we all had, an interest or a passion for sneakers to some degree, growing up when we grew up. But still, in terms of style, probably paid a little bit more attention to than my peers or my friends and such. But not to the level where it's like thought of it as like a business opportunity. It was really e-commerce first. But we came across fashion purely by chance, just researching the market. And we just thought that structurally that, the market would, would either be horrible, people would never buy anything online because they wouldn't know how it fits, or it would be a big opportunity. And I think we were able to figure out some just basic things that the e-commerce, landscape and the e-commerce shopping experience provided that physical retail could not.
Like one of the things I realized when I got into fashion seemed like one of those businesses or industries where like, it's who you know, it's not what you know. And I always made the effort. And since like we're talking about like what changes I made in my life, I made this effort and said, I want to know everybody and I'm going to go to everything. Like I just went to everything and I realized that my presence and the energy I bring to something is what's going to help my brand. That's what I thought early on. And that was like a change I made.
Well, I totally agree with you that early on in that earlier phase was just be out, take as much in, meet as many people as possible, see what's going on, go to stores, see what competitors are doing, see what cool people, cool things that are going on in the entire place. From the very beginning was what does the consumer want? It would be introducing things on a creative level, but also being sure that we can prove and analytically understand that, yes, we prove that women want, jeans or this type of dress or this type of trend, more so or less so or whatever it may be. And it was just putting those together was super important.
Do you set goals?
100%.
You do.
Yes.
So is it business goals or personal goals?
You know, 2018 was the first year I ever wrote it down. Like on a habits level, I'm actually really bad about writing things down. Only reason I did it this year is because we were actually talking about this earlier about New Year's travel. And I was just traveling with a guy friend and we're just like, what's up? What are you doing? Like, what are you trying to do? And ultimately we put it on paper so we could also just hold each other accountable for it. You know what I mean? When your homies, like when you say, oh, I'm trying to jewel less, and then your homies there, and then you're like jeweling, it's like, you get that guilt, like, I shouldn't be doing this. And that was literally, that's a literal goal, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't had a jewel in 2 weeks.
Wow.
that was one of the harder goals.
That's a big group chat.
Yeah,
Sure,
dude. That was one of the hardest goals, to be honest, to stop. That took me a long time.
So what's one piece of advice that if someone's trying to, like, I want to change something, I want to be more positive, but like I'm scared to make that goal. Like, how do you kind of cross that barrier? Like, hey, just like the jewel, like, how do you like say, okay, I want to do that, but can I really do it?
I guess it really depends, you know, like for me, like the jewel one was an easy one, not an easy one, a hard one because it was physical, but the mindset was easy because it's just intrinsically not good for you. Right. You know, those ones are like, on a rational level, 100% it's a good idea. So then you have to like, get it on an emotional level, like, oh, I'm hitting this jewel, I feel like like, you know what I mean? So you feel bad, it's bad. Those ones were a little bit easier to set up, but some of the other ones, like, positive ones, I guess, it's, I don't know, man, it's forever. It's
just like keep reminding yourself, this is
it's always like that, but I know that's easier said than done, you know what I mean? It's I don't think that's something that you can just tell someone, like, oh, just think about it and rationalize it. It's gonna be, oh, duh, I don't know.
This is always an interesting question. What would you view as your biggest failure?
The failure of lack of prioritization and trying to do too much. And I think that's one thing that I always go back to is like, I'm trying to do as little as possible, but just do it as well as possible, less but better. Hopefully less work, more fun, more focus, more space, more emptiness. And I think that was a big lesson there of like,
well, cool. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
Enjoyed
brother.
it. Thank you guys. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Kiss me, ho.